I have seen you with some vintage, some good quality pots, and that people have turned into the Goodwill. And Goodwill's not going to clean them up; they're not going to shine them up for you, technically. Correct. So you do some of that. So go ahead. That's why I asked you about it.
All right, Brandon asked me how to pick the correct pot pans. So, guys, this is going to be a first grade level video. I'm not covering all the different pots because there's more pots than these. But I'm going to cover the majority of the pots that you will see. All right, Brandon, what you see on the screen? Can you read that out loud for me?
Cast iron, aluminum, stainless steel, non-stick.
All right, so today we're going to talk about 4 different kind of pots: cast iron, aluminum, stainless steel, and non-stick.
And all of them, for the most part, are available at Walmart. So if you want to try to pick up something from listening to our presentation,
or you can hit the links below. I'm gonna have some recommendations.
Okay, there you go.
Of some pots. Now they ain't gonna be the top of the line pots, but if you a cast iron, don't buy the Walmart brand because you're gonna end up cutting yourself. But I'm gonna explain that later.
Okay.
All right, cast iron, Brandon. This is a cast iron pan. You see this?
I got you.
And this pan was thrifted, so it's a thrift store pan. Now the pros of cast iron: you can sear, bake, roast, and fry.
Okay.
One thing I like about cast iron, it holds heat. Why do you think it holds heat, Brandon?
I don't know. I guess the material is made where it just kind of just absorb all the heat and get really hot. That's just what I'm gonna say.
It's like a fat man. If you get next to a fat man is always hot.
Okay.
Because they got more material.
I got you. That's a good way to put it.
This is more material, so it takes longer to heat up. But once it heats up, it stays heated up. Okay. Why do you think you'll need that, Brandon?
Why do I think I'm gonna need that?
Yeah. Why is that important?
Well, for me, I like to cook on high heat, and I like to, I guess, get that real good sear. Like if you cooking with high heat, you get that perfect sear on your meat. But if you're cooking with medium heat, I mean, you can do it, but it's just the style I like to cook. I like to cook really fast. I like to kind of burn the food, get a nice sear on it, and be done with it. And that's what you can do with cast iron.
That's a good thing. But the reason the one positive about holding heat is if Brandon's gonna fry some chicken.
Okay.
Brandon, when you put the chicken in, is the chicken room temperature or refrigerator cold?
It depends on how you cook it, but usually.
No, Brandon, come on, hold on. When you put the chicken in the grease, was the refrigerator cold, or you left it out all night?
No, you didn't leave it out all night, so it's gonna be refrigerated cold.
All right, so you got your grease set to 325, right? When you put a piece of cold chicken in there, the temperature could drop down real fast.
You're right.
And it may take a while to heat back up.
Right.
But with a cast iron, it holds that heat better. So that cold piece of chicken won't drop down your temperature so much.
Right. But I was going to ask you, do you already take your meat out? Say you take your chicken out or your steak out and get it room temp and then fry it or then cook it. Do you do it sometimes that way?
Brandon asked me this dumb mother clucker question. He know the answer, but I'll go answer. All right, audience. Your chicken, unless you're at the Chinese food restaurant, your chicken needs to be refrigerated at a certain temperature at all times, right, Brandon?
Okay, it should be, but why is that?
Brandon, you the professional cook.
But you tell me. This is your presentation. I want to hear what you got to say.
Okay. I don't know. I think Brandon he's certified in Georgia, Atlanta.
I do have Serve Safe certified for sure.
I think you got to be under the bacterial reproducing rate for chicken.
Right.
Because chicken is very dangerous. It got salmonella, right?
Salmonella, yeah. And you have to like if you're in a restaurant, it has to be at a certain temperature. So if you take it out, you got to be doing something with it. So that's just what it is. But like I said, you want a
Chinese food restaurant.
Allegedly.
A big bucket. And then you grab the chicken
and just
put it in there.
Right.
Okay.
But food does cook differently depending on how cold it is. Because like I said, if it's fresh out the freezer, you could because people like back when I was out of high school, fresh, I didn't know how to cook. It was sometimes I'll take a frozen chicken patty and put it on the grill or put it on the griddle. I've done that before. Is that the best way? Is that the best way to cook something?
No, not really. Was it a George Foreman?
It was a George Foreman, like one of the Wolfgang, right? Yeah, it'll cook, but that's not the best way to do it. Would I say room temperature would be? No, not really, but refrigerated at a good temperature where you're not growing bacteria. That's probably the best thing.
Now, if we talk about beef, some people probably shouldn't do it at a restaurant, but some people let their beef come to room, especially a steak, comes to room temperature before they cook it. But they probably can't do that at a restaurant. I
think we've talked before. Sometimes it's easier to cut a steak if it's kind of frozen, like fresh out of the freezer, and then you kind of slice it. It'll cut differently if it's like, room temperature. Did we talk about that one time?
Nah, we never talked about that, but I do agree with you.
Yeah, just some cooking tips, and like I said, we're just trying to give y'all some knowledge that we have over the years, some experience in the kitchen. But go ahead.
And with a cast iron, you could cook this anywhere, camp place, over some rocks, over a engine, on the stove, gas stove, anywhere you could cook this.
And will it damage your stove, or will it damage your appliances cooking on it? Because it's a little heavy, right? And you would think maybe it kind of rub off or something like that. What does it damage your appliances, your stovetop?
Well, anything will damage if you hit it hard enough. Okay. Just to be aware that the weight of it, so you don't want to be slamming it down like that. Right. So you put it down. So
yeah, I got you.
And if you're a woman, you got to at least weigh over 120 pounds to handle one of these.
Yeah, it is kind of heavy.
All right, some of the cons: you should not boil or simmer stuff in a cast iron. Why is that, Brandon?
I don't know. That's what I say. So I wouldn't be able to boil an egg in there.
You can do anything you want to, but it's not recommended.
Why not? Is it because
a cast iron is seasoned prep? So seasoning is a protection layer on this that helps create the non-sticking properties. So if you boil it, it's a good chance some of that seasoning could rub off.
Gotcha.
Also, no acid. Acid includes tomatoes and citrus items. You should not cook use tomatoes or citrus items in a cast iron.
Like a lemon wouldn't. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else. Yeah, okay. I didn't really think about that. Yeah.
Dishwasher. This is not good for a dishwasher.
Have you ever put something? Because my mom tell me this all the time. Because like I say, she ordered me a pot recently. She's like, Brandon, don't put no dish, no stank. Because I do the non-stick sometimes. You get lazy, you kind of throw them in the dishwasher, and your stuff ain't never gonna be the same. You think you'll come out quicker doing it that way, but you just need to wash it in the sink. But go ahead. Have you thrown some stuff in the dishwasher? I haven't done cast iron.
Let's don't bring up the word non-stick when we on cast iron, Brandon. You go throw the whole link. Because we got to talk about that once we get to non-stick.
Got you. So right. have you thrown a cast iron in there? It don't even make any sense. Oh, go ahead.
I have not.
Okay.
I hand wash this, and I only use soap when I wash it.
Okay.
I just got to get it. Time it comes off. Sometimes I use a little salt. Yeah. Sometimes a little salt, kind of rub it, get a little abrasion. Then I rinse it off and dry it. That's it.
I got you. Now, how do you dry? You wipe dry it? Because like I said, we talked about it on the phone a little bit. When I clean it, I put some oil on it, use a paper towel, kind of wipe it, and just make sure it dries that way. Is that how you do yours? How do you do yours?
Now, Brandon is referring to a outside product versus the inside product.
Well, I do the inside products. I do my cast iron like that too. Not a lot of olive oil, but I still put some oil on it just because it'll dry. Like sometimes if I clean a cast iron skillet, it'll start looking a little funny. Yeah, not rust, but it'll dry funny sometimes.
Yeah, so you can do that. It's once it's clean, a light layer of oil never is gonna hurt it. Unless you got roaches in your house. Brandon, you got any roaches in your house? You ever
Not that I know of.
And the roaches stuck to it? No. Unless you got roaches in your house. So you can do that. So another thing, this pot is heavy, like we talked before, and it requires maintenance. So you got to know how to season it and how to keep a seasoning.
Yeah.
This is cast iron 101. Thrift store. I think I probably about $4 for this.
So if you're lazy, would you recommend somebody using cast iron?
If I was lazy, I recommend a person using non-stick, which we're gonna talk about later on in this slide.
Okay. All right.
All right, here's the pot that I recommend in the link. You could get this on Amazon, guys. This is a great beginner's pot. It's made by a well-known company that started in the 1800s. You won't cut yourself on the edges. And also, the pot has video to teach you how to season the pot. Now, this pot will do everything that we described in the video. Retains good heat, has a good weight, even has a pour spout to it. So you can pour out liquids or anything that's in the pot with ease. Guys, I will recommend this pot. It's a must-have for any kitchen. The price is not ridiculous high, but you get pretty good quality. Do not buy no pots at Walmart, the Walmart brand. Trust me. Believe me on this one. Take it easy.